And we is live
Awesome, man.
again. I don't know if you were on earlier, but I just finished one a little while ago.
No, I was gonna do a midnight one, but I didn't get up and actually do anything, so I did plan it.
Cool. Victor from who is Digital Dimwit. This was a last minute thing. I know I talked about social media drama a little while ago, and I touched on that even with John Allen a little bit. So last minute, I mean, literally last minute, I just reached out to see if you wanted to discuss some stuff, and the reason I want to talk about it is because I think it's getting out of hand already, and it probably did a while back already. But
Yeah.
I fear for some of these people that just something goes very bad.
Yeah,
And
it's not getting any better.
Yeah, and I gave the example of Jenny Jones, the Jenny Jones show. I don't know if you, it's a okay. There's a documentary on Netflix, and they're talking about what happens when drama does the media cause certain drama, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And they had a guest, and he said, "Oh, we got a surprise for you. Somebody's got a crush on you." And the guy's like, "Oh man, I wonder who it is." It's like the girl. Who is it? Well, they brought this guy on who had a crush on him. It was a gay thing.
Mm-hmm.
Dude was embarrassed. I mean, he was angry. He was in shock on the stage. 3 or 4 days later, he went to the guy's house and fucking killed him.
Okay, I might have heard that. I just didn't have the names.
Yeah.
But yeah. Yeah, this was like a quick, I think we put this together in like 15 minutes. Like I was already in bed, ready to go to sleep, and
and I was about to. I was like, yeah, and then I don't know. I just wanted to. I wonder what Vic is doing right now.
yeah, and like I know it's been like probably months since we've done a show, but like we've talked about like trying to get back together and do at least one show or just talk about something. But,
Yeah, and and I thought about reaching out to everyone, all the other players, at least most of them, and just to see, what this is something. I don't know. Let's talk about this because I really don't want it to get ugly.
yeah, and I don't think anyone does, but little by little, I've been reaching out. I don't know if anyone caught, but I spoke to Jaime last week, and I know you have your opinions on Jaime. Like for me, like me and him have squashed any beef that was with us. He talked professionally, and like I enjoyed having him on. Like I still talk to him like every now and then, and he admitted that things have gone pretty far, and that he was even willing to do a sit down and just squash the beef with everything.
Yeah, but do you think he would really, really do that?
I
Personally, I think
I think he would, because I'm sure he's getting tired of it also, and I know he wants to do other things. It's just that, I mean, you've seen it too. Like once you get
and that's my thing. He wants to do other things. Why don't you just do other things? Why do you got to keep on with this stuff? And I would say this is the same thing to her, but I think for her it's a reaction to him. I don't know who reacted first, but now it's like out of control. It's just back and forth. So
I mean,
he's the aggressor.
It's easy to see it like from the outside. Like, why doesn't everyone just stop? But like when you're being the one like pulled in there, your name's being dragged through mud. Like I know I was I was the target for a while, and of course I wanted to jump on and say my opinions, but like I stepped down. That was just after one day. Like these people have been going on for weeks and months, and I'm sure Frank and Ophelia have been going on for more than a year at this point. So things are getting heated. It's hard just to drop down because no one wants to be that person to say, you know what, I quit. Because the other person would say, oh, I won.
Pride thing or whatever. My whole thing is, and I'm not trying to put anybody down or any page down.
Mm-hmm.
I respect everyone equally. I try not to get in the middle of it. But it gets to a point where it's like, really? You guys are doing this back and forth like every night, like, and it's just, and I said this before, and I think I said this with you one of the times that we did something, a show together, and I said, it's easy to get popular and get the views when you want to jump into that and get involved in that. And it's easy to do that and get the views, kind of like it was easy because of Vanessa. It brought viewers, it brought traffic. So the hard part is to get away from all that and do something like actual content, whether you're telling a story or following a story or something, your own original content. I said, that's the hard part. It's easy to just hop in and get involved in the middle of this drama, but
yeah, and I'll admit it, like it's hard. Like, yeah, I'll talk about drama. Of course, my views go up, my subscribers go up, everything. But then when I try and do, scary stories, I try and do true crime. I have the Irene Garza case.
Irene Garza, why does that ring a bell? That's
the priest who had killed the school teacher.
Yeah, like 40, 50 years ago or something like that.
Yeah. Well, my great grandfather passed, and he was a writer. He's been investigating this since the very beginning. So I have like all the newspaper clippings, letters to the editor, like covering the story. Like, of course, I want to cover something like this, but it's not going to bring in the views. So I feel like I need to throw myself in the drama for a little bit, get those viewers, so I could share what I really want to share.
Yeah, and part of that, it's too bad that has to happen like that. But it is what it is, and people, for whatever the reason, they get interested in the drama. It's I don't know, what do you call it? It's just it's like a circus, and I mean, it gets funny sometimes and ridiculous at other times, but you just can't help, and you keep. Yeah. Well, let me just go see what she's saying. Let me go see what he's saying, and then and I get it. You get caught up in it, and
it's easy to get caught up and to get heated and just to be in the moment where you feel like someone's doing something so vile, so bad, that you just want to jump in and throw your comments on it too. And before you know it, you're either a target or you have people rallying behind you to keep going, and it's hard.
Yeah, and it's funny how. So my question to you was going to be, and tell me if I'm wrong, but I know when you started being on the outs with Ophelia, and then you posted, I think I told you about this, and you posted something that I said, it sounds like it could be directed at them, even though you told me, no, it's not. It's just a legit story. I'm like, you remember it was something about peacocks or...
Yeah, it was. Of course, it was a tongue-in-cheek kind of thing, but at the same time, it fit the story I was telling. Because even if it wasn't called a peacock, the episode wasn't about peacocks or anything like that, I probably still would have run it, and it was still a pretty messed up episode.
Yeah, see, and I'm just wondering, while you're in the middle of all that, if you really didn't want to, stir the pot or whatever, could you have run that at a different time, or thought, I'm not gonna do this right now because they're gonna take it as a personal, I mean, not as a direct, shots fired kind of a thing.
Like that wasn't even on the list. Like what I did was that whole day I wasn't even posting about drama. I think I was out of the drama for a while, and I was just trying to put like the scariest TV episodes from different shows. So I talked about
that's right, yeah.
And I went and made, my first one, my second one, and I was like looking down the list, and I saw that one, and I had never heard about it. So I went and I watched the episode. I was like, this is pretty messed up. Like, the only coincidence is the family was called a Peacock family, and that was it. But I was like, you know what? This is going with, my whole story. This might, piss off some people, but I feel like this is one of those things that people need to hear about. Like, and it was a little tongue in cheek, like, okay, peacocks, this is going to get some attention. This is going to get some traction. So I posted it, and, that happened.
Yeah. So have you gotten hateful feedback?
Oh,
I mean, how has the hate been recently? Like, the further the further, I don't know. I want to keep thinking the further away you pull out of it,
Yeah.
pull away from it. But I don't know. I keep seeing you. So when you had Jaime on,
Yeah.
I remember thinking, oh man, what are you doing? What are you doing? And I was thinking, why? That's and for a lot of reasons.
Mm-hmm.
And I know right off the bat, he turned on me because I didn't want to have him on the show. You know, he kept insisting, "I'll come on, I'll come on." But I didn't know about him at first. Then I watched a little, and I was like, it's not my thing.
Yeah, and
eventually, I found him funny.
Yeah,
like, oh, okay, it was actually
guy.
funny. But then when he started getting vulgar, like, I mean, real nasty vulgar, and then they both started going at it back and forth, I was like, man, I'm not. You know, if he could stay out of that,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the dude could be funny. He could have his own character, you know, what he does with the wig or whatever, and that could be a funny thing.
Yeah.
But,
when he started, I said the same thing very publicly, that there was like one aspect of his show that I didn't like. We talked about it. We've been cool ever since. When he's on my show, like, he's Jaime. He's not any character or anything like that. And I honestly, you know, support and believe everything he said when he was on my show. Like, he admitted that he's gone too far. He apologized for some of the statements he had said. And, you know, I see that on one side of this argument. I haven't seen that on the other side. Like, at least, you know, admit wrongdoing. Like, I think that speaks something. I mean, because like I've gone too far sometimes, and I've admitted it. Back in the whole Vanessa thing, I said that a lot of the things I did were a little too far, even though I stopped right after the whole political thing happened. At least admitting it. One doesn't have to like fully turn over a whole new leaf or anything, but as long as they're publicly saying, okay, I fucked up, or maybe I shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, and I don't know, you know, you mentioned it the last time, one of your last live, was it? You know, when you were with him, when you were with Jaime, about I wish you could do a show where everybody, we can get everybody in a room, kind of like a sit down with everybody and try to iron shit out, right?
Yeah.
And I don't think those two in particular. I know he said he would, and he's got his own agenda and his own what he's trying to accomplish and get for his page or whatever.
Yeah.
But I don't think Frank and Ophelia would do something like that.
Frank, I don't think so, because I mean, if it's true or not, the allegations are like really crazy. Like, even if they're completely false, like, I don't think you could come back and sit down with someone who said those kind of things about you. And then I know Ophelia has a lot of pride. She has, you know, the way she carries herself, and this isn't an insult to anyone, you know, who wants to run this back to Ophelia. I'm just saying she's prideful, and there's nothing wrong with that. I don't think she would do a sit down either. But the way this drama goes is anything I say could easily just be turned, and, you know, I could be the target tomorrow just because I said she was prideful.
Yeah, and I get that, and I you know, I run that same risk right now. There were people who were wanting to target me. This was a month ago when I was just being nice to her and the peacocks that were there, and I was, you know, I was just being myself, just being gentlemanly, welcome everyone. And I was threatened with, oh, I'm not going to watch you anymore. Oh, and I'm like, I'm not going to watch you anymore. I'm like, well, okay. I mean,
and then I even shared a screenshot with you on one time when I was the target of it, and they said, I'm going to see to it that you're never on Manny's show again. And I sent you that. I was all like, can you believe this? I was like, and I told you, like, I'm okay stepping down. Like, you know, I don't want you to be thrown into the drama because I know you never wanted to be involved in the drama at all.
But I take steps to kind of stay out of it too.
Yeah.
You know, somebody in the comments, I saw it or I lost it. You guys can speak freely. You guys can speak freely all you want. I'm not gonna, you know.
Yeah, I've never censored anyone on mine. Like, I'm okay answering anything. Or
the only time I will is if you get belligerent dirty, then I might, you know, boot you out of here. But
like sloppy.
Yeah, like just overly insulting. I'll even go that far. Overly insulting. So if you want to comment or if you want to put something up there, feel free. Um, when he first came on, and I don't know, maybe is there history with him and Ophelia, or did he just come on recently? And
Even before he had like his platform, he was trying to do things for the community and stuff. Like people who've known him from before his characters and his channel, he was always trying to do something. He was always trying to be involved in some way, because his whole coming back from drug addiction, trying to do good, like it's a underdog story. Everyone loves those. Like even people cheering for Vanessa to get better and come back and win a seat. There was this whole issue with they got together to do some backpack drive, and then one person said that
him and who?
Ophelia, Jaime, okay. And I think Roser was involved in this one. I could be completely wrong. Sonia can fact check me on that. It was botched, so it's that someone, either one side, I've heard it from both sides. One side kept the money and didn't do backpacks. One side kept the majority of the money, went to Dollar Tree and spent like $5 on the backpacks and gave them to the school, to where the school didn't even want them at the end of that. So that's where the friction kind of started. And when that happened, I was very public on Ophelia's page. I would always comment. I called in like from time to time, and it was a really good time when I was welcomed on that side. And I told her, I was like, look, I want to do a sit down on my show. You come here. I want to get Jaime. We all talk together and we settle this. So like, both of you have a lot of potential. I've said Ophelia has potential. Jaime has a lot of potential. But at that point, they didn't want to sit down with each other. Ophelia told me, if you're going to have him, I'm not going to be on your show. And he said the same thing. He's all like, you said you didn't like my platform. If you're going to have Ophelia, I'm not going to be on there. So I was like, okay, that's cool. I'm just going to talk about it. I just wanted y'all to be able to kind of represent yourselves, in the narrative. And since then, it's been going. And then, comments and actions that Ophelia's done have added, fuel to Jaime, like to where he wants to bring that to light, kind of the whole, similar like to the whole Vanessa thing, like just wanting to make people aware.
Yeah.
And it's just been growing and growing ever since.
So you've got a history with Vanessa. I mean, you go way back, and you've been following her for a long time.
Yeah,
way before I did. You had videos and stuff on her, and
yeah.
So, how far does Jaime go back with her?
That I don't know.
Because my whole question is that she's got a lot of followers recently. I know she jumped on the Uvalde train and took that situation to grow her followers, and then so I've been covering her since she was running in the race, her last race.
Yeah.
But I'm wondering how why people who don't really know her, and I want to throw him in there too, because I don't know how much of a history they have. I know they used to. Somebody said they did when they were doing their drug thing or whatever, that they used to do some of that together.
Yeah.
I just don't know how far back that was. And
I don't know. I know they talk. I know she called into his show like a month ago. They don't talk, from what I know, because I don't know everything. They keep in touch like every once in a while, but it's not like a weekly thing. It's not a bi-weekly thing. It's just they have communication.
So I always wondered, and that's one reason I would not have him on again. And that was my standing at the time. And right now it still is.
Mm-hmm.
But, he started coming after me because of me covering her or whatever. And, and I'm like, what business is that?
I mean, I'm not going to say best friends, but they, like I said, they communicate. And that's like going after, a friend of his. Just like, if I had a friend that people wanted to attack, like, I'm like, whoa, like, you could do your own content and just, leave my friend alone kind of thing.
Yeah, but Personally, I don't think they have that kind of friendship.
Okay.
I think people call themselves friends on social media, on Facebook.
Like a loose term.
I got 700 friends on my list. Do I know every single one of them personally? No.
Yeah.
I think that term gets thrown around too loosely. So my thing was, why do you care? So what if I'm streaming her? I mean, is she your sister? Is she your mom?
Mm-hmm.
And then he was having people call my phone. Oh, I want people to call. Here, everybody, let's call his number. And one person called, right?
Yeah.
But I feel like everybody needs to stay in their lane, so to speak. Unless you're really going to make an alliance with somebody, well, then that's a whole other thing.
Well, I think they were building towards that because he was supposed to interview her, and I was looking forward to that. When she did call into a show, she held herself better than I've ever seen her, like in her speeches and stuff like that. Like it seemed like she was like a radio personality. Like it just felt like real relaxed and stuff. So I was looking forward to that interview. And
yeah, something was supposed to happen on a Sunday night, I remember.
Yeah.
So that never happened?
No. I was waiting for it, but I think she put it on hold, and I think it's still in the works. I haven't asked or anything, but I'm hoping.
Yeah. So we'll get to her in a second. And somebody brought up a good pointer. And Frank did stream her. Frank had what do you call it? Cheese Keys TV.
Yeah.
And he streamed, I think, every time she went live. And
what I think the issue was and it's your platform. I'm not defending. I'm just trying to clear it up here. Was the shirts that you would make. So he said it was kind of like you profiting off of her name.
Her name is not on my shirts. Her name is nowhere on any merchandise I have.
Yeah, but like similar to how like when I use the name Peacock in my story, like people could kind of like connect kind of things. And like I said, I'm not defending or anything. I'm just saying like that's.
No, I get it. See, but I see that a little bit differently because you had just had this friction, this moment blow up.
No, I think I made that post like a month after my name started getting thrown in there.
Well, when I'm saying it was fresh, it was right off the heels of that, right?
Yeah.
And then I saw that post and I was like too soon, bro. Too soon. That's what I was thinking.
We had a long talk about that.
Yeah.
We've had like long talks, and a lot of people like spinning that like me and you are enemies or that me and you never talk, but we talk every now and then, not like every week or anything.
Yeah, I had an issue not with you, with I guess it was Jaime or even Vanessa saying that angry because I'm profiting off of her, when all I'm doing is, hey, if you've been blocked in social media, there's your black t-shirt. It doesn't say Vanessa. It doesn't say VT anywhere on there.
Mm-hmm.
Nowhere. Not on the back, not on the front, not on the side.
Yeah.
It just says official blocked party. You were blocked. Anybody who's been blocked. This applies to anybody who's been blocked. So why he took it upon himself to want to get out in front of that and kind of defend her on that, I don't know. I just saw it as stay in your lane, man. This is none of your business.
I don't know. Like when me and him talk, we really don't talk about the drama. Like I gave him advice on getting a computer, just stuff like that. So I'm sure he might be willing to like talk and clear that up. When he has his persona, just like Frank has his persona, Ophelia has her persona, I have my persona. But when the cameras are off and everything, like just chatting, he's pretty chill. I think you're the only one that doesn't have a persona because off camera, on camera, you're pretty much the same. Me, I'm just loud when I'm on camera.
Loud?
Yeah.
Really? You think so?
This is me being loud. Off camera, I'm just chill. People might want to assume that I'm on something, but I just like being quiet to myself. I always have headphones around me. Like in every room of my house, I have headphones or a headset on because I just like to, be in my zone. I don't like to, stir anything up like that.
Yeah, and then Frank is another one I was gonna pick his brain to see if you wanted to talk about this.
Oh,
And
same here. I've been meaning to talk to him.
and I don't know that. I mean, it would be epic, right, to do some kind of a sit down. Damn,
Yeah.
you know what? Can you imagine do a pay per view of that? That'd be good for pay per view. But you know, I kind of think these are grown people. I mean, we're freaking adults, and some of the stuff that goes on there. And I mean, Ophelia too. You know, she's. You know, she always claims she was the one that was attacked first, and then they go, and she's just defending herself. You know, from stuff that comes over to her.
Oh yeah, I'm actually working on a timeline right now. It's just hard because videos have been deleted and stuff, but I'm trying to get a timeline to be like, okay, look, facts right here. This was said this time, and that's what started this, and have the whole trickle down thing. It's just been a lot of work because everyone makes so many videos nowadays.
Yeah, and I've picked up a lot of viewers in the last few months.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
When I started covering, the video with Vanessa and Dre, it's like at 286,000 views right now.
Yeah, I think you got monetized right after that video.
And then
we were talking about that.
So a lot of viewers came from that, and then a lot of people started watching it because I was telling everybody, yeah, you can watch it here, you can watch it over there, you can watch this person, that person. You know, I'm not one to say don't watch anybody else. Stop, quit watching everybody. No, I don't do that. I'm like, yeah, you can watch that page over here, this page. You can watch her over there. You can watch it, and then they decide on their own whether they want to watch. And then the same question was, knowing they're adults, but they would come back to me and my comments in my messenger. It's like, what's wrong with these people? How old are they? You know, they're acting like 8th grade stuff. I'm like, it's just a drama down here. I think it's partly the culture.
It's the people culture. That's a pretty big thing because I know some of the beauty influencers, and I know they had like this huge fallout, and now there's like a huge audience. Like they're doubling numbers. They're getting hundreds of more subscribers, and it's the drama that brings it. Like people down here love the drama. But I've always said the drama is temporary. Yeah, it's going to bring you a big boost now. But if you do like something informative, if you do something, that could stand, the test of time, you'll be getting viewers like little by little for years rather than just everyone just for this 1 week for this one video.
Yeah. And, and the hard part is also, and people, I've heard this said about Frank and his page. Oh, look how many thousands of, followers he's got, but, only 20 or 30 people watching the show.
Mm-hmm.
But that applies to a lot of people as well. The numbers are not, just because you got followers, it doesn't mean everybody watches.
No. And it's important to know that not everyone who watches and subscribes is a supporter.
Yeah, absolutely not. And that's the reality of it. The other part of it is I look at somebody like Molly. You know who Molly is?
Yeah.
Molly Golightly. She's fighting with Katie Joy. She has a lot of followers, but she has like 1,000 people watching at a time.
Yeah.
1,400, 2,000 people at a time. And I'm like, and I watch her a lot. Molly, if you ever watch this, say I'm cool with Molly. We got no issues.
Yeah, I remember when she first like guest spotted here on your show. I was watching that one. I was like, I like this girl, so I went and I subscribed, and I'll watch like every now and then when she's live, and I'm like not busy, I'll watch.
Yeah, that's the whole other drama. I haven't even got to that yet, and I'm staying on the outside of it. That's gotten kind of ugly as well. But people watch her, and she had an epic program. Somebody doxed her. They put her number out there on some page or some dating site or something.
Mm-hmm.
So people start calling in her phone number, and kind of like what Ophelia did, she starts messing with whoever calls her phone. Well, she was doing the same thing. She was pretending to be a Russian 18-year-old and talking with these dudes that want to get in her pants, and it became a whole funny thing that it was meant to be a doxing. but it ended up backfiring on whoever did it because she turned it into a thing.
Yeah.
And it was so funny. And I mean, there were 2,000 people watching, and it's it's funny what some people find funny or entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
And down here, it's a totally different thing. And
Definitely.
I can't explain the number situation. Just because somebody's got 40,000 followers, it doesn't mean you're gonna have 40,000 people watching you at the same time.
Yeah, or that all those like you. Like me, I'm like 2 subscribers away from 1,500, but I'll go live and I'll have like the same like 14, 15 people. And I'm okay with that. I'm not throwing out like, oh, look at my, subscriber number and stuff like that. Like, no, if I could have a conversation with, a few people and it's entertaining to me, entertaining to them, that's cool. Like, it's like to be humble, because you got to think of all the different creators in the world and like their numbers. Like you said, like Molly polling 100,000, per live, or like that's someone that like, okay, that's an influencer. That's someone who has like, influential power on the platform. Not, oh, this person has 100, 200 like people live.
So what is it in a nutshell? If you don't want to get into detail, or if you don't want to talk about it, that's fine too.
All right.
What happened there, like with the Ophelia situation? They just.
The thing is, I never said anything bad about her. Like I have the screenshots of what I put. It's the fact that I was speaking about her on another platform. I said that she had potential to be a lot better than what she is right now. I don't really see that as an insult. Like, I'm here saying that I want, her to be better. I want everyone to be better. I said that her greatest video was when she did the one about cancer.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, if she stuck with videos like that, her numbers would probably be triple than what they are right now. And then I said, I know it was just 3 things, because I heard those 3 things constantly when she bashed me on her video about it. But it wasn't anything malicious. It was just, I think she could be better by doing this. I don't think that's really bad. But then when she went and did about 2 or 3 videos just bashing me, calling me all these things, saying all these things about my mother, saying all these things about my wife, like, I was like, whoa, like, I didn't go after you or anything. And even to this day, even though like I've had her and her followers in my inbox, in the comment section saying things, like, I still haven't gone after anybody. Like, I'm like, if they want to think that that's cool, like, they're entitled to their opinion, just like I should have been entitled to mine.
Yeah.
So that's when everything like kind of happened. And like, of course I would like to, there's some times where she'll have videos that aren't about the drama, and she'll, be talking about things that I like talking about, but I know I can't show my face on that side, because as soon as I comment something, I'm going into, the bosso, I'm getting, blocked. I'm going to have a video dedicated to me harassing her because I'm commenting on her video. So I stay out. Frank's side, Jaime's side, they're welcoming to me. Like, I've said that I don't agree with some things that Frank does. I told Jaime straight, like, there's some things you do I don't agree with, but we're still cool. Like, you show me respect, I show you respect. And his audience is the same. There's probably some people there that don't like me, but they're at least kind enough not to attack me in the comment section.
So, okay, let's talk about some of the, whatever you want to call them, antics or whatever that come from Jaime and his side. And I don't know the details. All I know is that there is some vandalism going on there, and he's been accused of doing some things. And
well, I've heard it's like 4 different people. I've heard that it's like some J something. That's like supposed to be like a supporter of Ophelia, that she did it just to stir things up. I heard it was some lady from Mercedes, Velda, I think her name is. I've heard it was Jaime. I've heard it was 210. I've heard it was Ophelia doing it herself. I made a post like 2 weeks ago saying, look, we need a receipt checker. Like, if someone's going to say, oh, I have receipts, they need to show them, or else I'm not going to believe it.
Yeah, and that's not going to happen.
That's not going to happen. So if it's hearsay, everyone could say whatever they want for hearsay. They could say, oh, I read it on Facebook, or I heard it on Google, or I read it on Google, or Google told me.
See, if somebody does this kind of thing, and I don't know, people swear that it was him, and it was responsible for some of these things, and he did do these things.
It's RJ. That's the one. That's the person, the current suspect for it.
So if somebody whose reputation and people are saying these things that yeah he did do that stuff or he does that stuff or I mean I've heard him. I did watch a few of them. I mean, he's going to the cemetery tonight or whatever, or tomorrow night or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, is that really somebody you want to be associated with? I'm asking you, like, you're okay with being cool with that person who does this kind of stuff?
I know a lot of it's just poking. Like, I know Jaime said that, oh, he's going to the cemetery tonight, but he doesn't go. Like, it's the drama. It's just trying to one-up somebody or trying to piss off somebody or, if there was proof that he did it, if I saw, like, a photo and not just, like, oh, I heard from someone that he told them this, yeah, I would distance myself. But at the same thing, what if it was Ophelia? Like, are all those people okay with her stirring up this drama by doing this herself? Like, if we had proof on who actually did it, I think the lines would be drawn a lot clearer for everybody on like who's in the right, who's in the wrong.
Yeah, because I believe there is a video of him in a cemetery.
Anyone could send that to me. I've never seen that.
Putting wigs on some of the headstones. Mm-hmm. And they say it's out there. I've had 3 people tell me.
Yeah, I've heard videos like that too. I've heard videos that I've heard that someone has a video of Ophelia taking a hammer to the thing. Like, I don't believe it. I don't run with it as factual. If someone sends it to me, I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, that happened.
And then what about? I mean, same topic, but like doxing. When people want to take somebody down.
Oh.
It's been said that he did that he wanted to take me down. I don't know why. He could try or whatever. I don't care. Yeah, I'm not afraid of him or his little minions or some of the people that have been said who fund him and fund Vanessa, perhaps.
I think everyone gets funded to some extent. I don't know what the money's used for on anybody.
Well, I imagine if somebody's a third person is funding him, mm-hmm. he's going to be, or whoever is going to be sympathetic to whoever is funding you. So you're going to want to,
I could see that,
try to bring somebody down or talk bad about somebody because somebody's giving you $100 a month or whatever, or feeding your habit or whatever it is.
Okay, but I've also seen the reverse on like Ophelia's side, to where if you stop supporting her, that's when you become a target.
If like you stop supporting her,
yeah, since she asked for like a monthly fee for her supporters, that if they're true peacocks, they need to pay a monthly fee to be able to call themselves a peacock.
So it's like a subscription.
She's like running a subscription out of her Cash App.
Okay,
and that I've seen, so that way I could run with that and say, yeah, I've seen that. But
unless I'm wrong, but I've heard her say that's not mandatory.
That it's not mandatory.
People still can watch.
Yeah,
right?
They're not obligated to do it, but actually doing that. And I have had someone send me a screenshot of 2 other people having a conversation about going after someone because they're no longer supporting. When I said I was no longer supporting Ophelia's page, her huge argument was, Digital Dim would never sent me any money. He wasn't a true supporter. That's kind of gaslighting and saying like, oh, if I want to be a supporter, I need to donate. But I said afterwards, you could support in other ways that aren't monetary. You could donate you could support by sharing the page. You could support by commenting on the comments, kind of boost it, give a thumbs up. There's so many different ways to support it, but when that was a turning point for me where I was like, okay, it's all money based. It's all about the money. Like, I was like, and for that reason, I'm out, like Shark Tank style.
Yeah, I mean, to some point it is, and I don't have a problem with people on here. I mean, if this is going to be how they make their living, I don't have a problem if they're gonna collect a subscription or whatever. Hey, more power to you if you get everybody, to pay it. I don't even if it's Jaime or if it's Vanessa.
Yeah.
If that's just going to be the way you make some of your income, well, it's a job, right?
Yeah, like for Ophelia, that's her income, so that's her thing. That's cool. For Jaime, it's the same thing. Me, they could take my channel down. It's not going to bother me. I still have my main job. I still have my freelance work that I do. That's why I don't make videos every day. I'm lucky if I get to do one once a week. But that's their hustle on each side. So more power to both of them on each side. I'm not saying, oh, Jaime's doing it, so you should support him. I'm not saying you need to go still support Ophelia. I'm like, they both have their hustle and they need to do it their way.
And do you have any problem with I don't know, all this stuff I'm asking you, but at some point I should be asking him, but I don't see him. I don't see myself bringing him onto the show, considering how he's been. And I don't know. And people are saying, well, what about Ophelia and this and this? She said this, she said that, or did that. I'm like, I don't know. I think here's a comment. Marty, I see the comment. Are you okay with Ophelia saying her family member SA'd her? What's SA?
SA'd? S assaulted.
What?
Like sexually assaulted.
Oh, okay. Her when she was little turned around to say it was a lie because it pissed her off, but you're okay with supporting that immoral behavior. See, I don't know anything about that. I don't know if that's true or a lie there's a lot that I don't know. I haven't been following these people for years and years and years. I've been with my own page in November, it'll be 2 years. And then before that, it was almost a year with Real Politics. And that's when I started hearing all these names and getting into it and learning about, Vanessa and then Ophelia. So I don't know a lot of those things and what's true and what's not. But I know that all of them, everybody, well, except me, and I don't know about you, but I mean, they all when they all go back and forth, and allegations start flying, and then things start becoming, how do you say it? Like rumors, like the rumor mill. You start on one end, by the time it gets to the other end, is a totally different thing.
Yeah,
and that happens on both sides.
Definitely both sides.
And I get that. So I'm not trying to single out Jaime only. Oh, what about him? What about him with this? And what about him with that? But
and like I'm not defending either side. I'm just speaking my opinion on both sides. Like I've said good things about Ophelia on this show. I've said good things about Jaime on this show. But the rumors are dangerous because there's some people that'll take it at face value. There was a time where Ophelia was saying that Jaime was a registered sex offender, or she didn't directly say it, but she said on her program saying that she heard or that she's being told that he's a sex offender. So that just started growing and growing. So I brought him on my show like months ago. I ran his name through the database and I showed the screen. I was like, it's not showing up. Like he's not a registered. I went and checked like the background. There was no cases of any sexual assault or anything with minors, since that's what he was being accused of. And then I cleared his name. And at that point, me and him were still like, on the rocks. Like, I don't think he fully trusted me. Like, I didn't know what his intentions were. I just saw that as like, that's kind of messed up. And I know she's been accused of things too. I know Adult Protective Service has been called on her too. I really don't think resources should be wasted on just these, frivolous claims. Like I said, if there is some proof, if there are these so-called receipts, yeah, go for it. Report away if there is that proof.
Yeah. Yeah, and you know what? And you're right. If it's true, obviously report it. But so much mud slinging. It's not mud. It's beyond mud. Now it's so much shit being slung back and forth.
Some shit slinging.
Yeah, massive. And so and just like what you said, I'm not necessarily defending her, but I don't know a lot of the stuff that was said before. I know people have called her racist also, or her and her sister or something about something they said racist. But and I've heard different things from different people. And I don't know if I'd go far to call her racist. I mean, I got my own things I've said in my life, in my past.
Yeah.
And I'm definitely not racist. And my parents, there was a culture that they said certain things.
Exactly. I was about to say that, like, it's a product of their time, and that's not like an old insult or anything, but
Yeah.
it's just a product of the time. I see them as racist, but because of, her upbringing, when she grew up, it might not be racist to her. She might see it's okay. Just like when I was growing up, derogatory slurs about homosexuals were like the in thing to call each other. Like, oh, well, quit being such a, or, you quit acting like a.
Yeah.
And during that time, everyone thought it was okay. Like, it was fine. It was being thrown around. But now that I've actually grown up, I can look back and be like, you know what, that's pretty messed up. Like, I'm not using those anymore.
Yeah.
But you just need to look back and kind of read the room. Like, is this okay to say or not?
It's just sad because everybody's got their own talents.
Yeah.
You can specialize on the stuff you like. I know you like a lot of that. What do you call it? What you like? The comic book,
like pop
Comic-Con or pop culture, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, that's my thing. Like, I moved to Austin and I'm already being welcomed into, like, the geek culture down here. I got a free mug.
And Jaime, if he would, I see him like Vanessa. If he would quit talking about certain things and forget about certain things and just do a show that I think more people would watch, and not be so vulgar, and just he could have a huge following.
Well, that's more like the Ruby character, like the vulgar and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But he's done a couple of shows where he just does Jaime. He doesn't, do the yelling. He doesn't do the vulgarities. He doesn't talk about anything sexual. Like, it's different. So that's why I'm saying, like, it's a persona. Like, I don't know if you caught my episode last week, like, that was Jaime that I was talking to. I wasn't talking to Ruby or Sasquatchenta or whatever, like, they call the names. I mean, people could believe him, people could not believe what he said on my show, like, but the fact that I told him I was going to interview him, I asked if he wanted a heads up on, like, the topics and the questions, and he flat out told me, he's like, no, I want to give you my genuine answer. I don't want to have anything prepared. Just ask whatever you want. I had the audience asking questions, and some were very personal, talking about, some allegations against him, what he went through with drugs, stuff about his family. And he was able to answer them professionally. He didn't attack anyone, even though people were not being so kind to him in the comments. I think that says something, that he's able to kind of turn off the character and be him.
Yeah.
Like I said, like, people could believe him and they can't believe what he said. They could say that could have been an act, but I think seeing that kind of thing from one side, and I know Ophelia is not always like her online persona, because I used to speak to her off camera also. Back in the day, and she was different. So I think, maybe if you want to, like, it's your platform, but, like, you would probably be the only one that could probably do a sit-down interview with her as, Ofelia Moreno, not Donna, not any of these names that she calls herself. And everyone could kind of see, like, okay, this is an act. This is, everyone just putting on a mask.
Yeah, and I see the comments out there. I'm watching the comments, and I'm not saying she's not vulgar. That's why I started watching her when I first saw her. She cussed somebody out in Spanish, and I had never heard that kind of cussing out nasty so quickly, and it was like an art form.
Mm-hmm.
So I know she can be vulgar, and that's her thing too. The thing I'm wondering is, it turned from just being vulgar to being personally vulgar.
Yeah.
And that's, was she racist? I don't want to believe she is. And everybody, yeah, I heard people heard. I heard. Okay, well, I also heard people are going to send me stuff, and they want to show me. They want to show me. Well, show me. And if I think she is truly straight up racist, no bones about it. Well,
mm-hmm.
I don't know. We'll see what I decide to handle things then. But I think everybody's got their shtick, and everybody's got to be. Everyone's got to outdo the other person. So they got to be more vulgar than this guy, and then this guy's got to be more vulgar than that guy, and then that guy's got to be worse than all three of them.
It's a piss taking contest at this point, and everyone wants to be the one that says I won in the end. Everyone wants to be the winner. But I said it publicly. I've said it to Jaime. I've said it to Frank. Like, I've even made posts about it. Like, I feel like the true winner is going to be the first one to step away from this.
Yeah.
And once they start growing their platform without drama, doing like, everyone has their own skills. Everyone has their own content that people will flock to. That's going to show who won. That they were able to leave the drama and continue doing their numbers.
Yeah. And it'd be, I had a fantasy dream the other day. This was last month.
A fantasy dream. Okay, let's see where this goes.
Fantasy dream that, yes, it was me. I created one house where everybody had their own platform and we all lived under the same house. And everybody got along with each other, but they fought because it was just a show. Like wrestling.
Yeah.
They're fighting and they're throwing, and doing all that. But, after the show, 2 hours later, everybody's having dinner with each other and having a drink and all that.
Yeah.
And, make an enterprise out of it or something like that.
Yeah, and that kind of thing's huge. Like creator houses or content creator houses is what they're called. And that's cool. Like I always said, everyone should always get along. Like you don't have to like each other's content, but be civil, collab every now and then to, reach a different audience and boost your numbers. And I think that's the way to do it.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be awesome to just finally put shit aside and go, you know what? But at the same time, that's the monster that works for everybody.
Yeah,
that's the monster bringing views and bringing money in and all that. So
yeah, that is. And I mean, I really wish everyone would step out. Like, yeah, the drama's fun every now and then for like, maybe a few weeks and then drop it. Everyone goes to their own content and then, hey, let's bring this out like in a few months.
And just start a fight somewhere, somehow or something. Or
yeah.
I don't know. Then it wouldn't feel so natural then, perhaps.
Yeah. Or at least like you could hate each other, you could despise each other, but at least let them do their own thing. Like everyone little by little, you see everyone trying to do their own content. You see Ophelia trying to go back to like her old content. I think it was Jaime's like bringing out more Jaime, less Ruby. Frank's been trying to do some things, but the fire gets so hot that it just brings Frank and Ophelia like back head to head.
And I was not even saying for Jaime not to do Ruby. I'm just saying just change it up to, I don't know, and it's not because I'm favoring one side to the other. Mm-hmm. I'm just saying just steer away from that and just do something else. Ophelia was doing some shows on relationships or whatever, like these late at night talks and stuff. And man, those were very popular and interesting. It got the crowd to talk, and it was a popular show. And I think mutually, if everybody could just go, yeah, you know what, let's just drop it for it.
Yeah, like,
but I don't know.
Drop it, be all like, okay, I effing hate you. We're never going to be cool with each other, but you know what? You do you, I'll do me. Like, I'll walk this way, you walk that way, kind of thing. And I'll be fine. And a lot of people get possessive over the audience. People call them supporters, fans, whatever. It's the audience. You play to your audience. And, people don't want to share the same audience. People are like, okay, if you're going to watch that person, you can't come watch me. Like, I don't want to.
I don't get that part. I would never do that. I would never say that to anybody. And anybody who follows me, you can ask every single one. If they say yes, they're lying. But I have never told anybody, oh, don't go watch her or don't go watch him. Stay here. No, I'll never say that. I'll never say that. In fact, it'll be the opposite. I'll say, no, go ahead, check it out. She's on 9 or 10 o'clock at night, and he's on whatever. I've never told anybody don't watch him.
Yeah, like I would ask you all the time. Also, like when I wanted to do a show, I'm like, okay, what time are you going to be on? Like, so I could go on after you, and then I'll do that with like Jaime. I used to do it with Frank when I was going on more regularly. Like, I don't want it to be a fight for the audience. Like, you all do your show. I'm cool being the late night guy. I'm cool, getting scraps afterwards and stuff like that. Like, I respect your show. I don't want to interrupt it. I don't want to, like, you know, have you lose any audience in case, there's something good that you want to talk about. Go ahead. Like, I'll sit back and I'll wait.
Yeah, and even that's the hard part. If everybody's working together and you got 5 or 6 or 8 content creators, and everybody's got a show, and everybody's doing their show in the evening, somebody's going to step over somebody's feet. I mean,
yeah, like it's going to happen.
Yeah,
and I try and have communication is key.
And I can't worry about that no more. I like to go on at 8 or 9 o'clock. I know a couple others do also, but I don't do it disrespectfully. But it's a good time slot.
Yeah. And like everyone else, I'm the only one that doesn't do it regularly. But like you have, your schedule, and like the schedule is key to like having a platform and stuff. That's why I'm so horrible at it, because I'll just decide, I'm gonna go live today, or I'm gonna go live tomorrow. But like people know, Manny's gonna be on at 8. Jaime goes on like at 7. Ophelia goes on like usually around the same time Jaime does, and maybe a little bit later. So you kind of have to like schedule like weirdly around it.
But that's the thing. If some people were to make, set up a show ahead of time, like I do sometimes in StreamYard, you can set them up 24 hours ahead, or more than that, actually, up to a week ahead of time.
Yeah.
But if you would set them up ahead of time, and if I would see that, what is she talking about? Then, you know what? I'm not going to go on at that time. I'll just wait and go on later, or go on earlier or something.
Yeah.
For that, I would be more conscious of doing that. But not everybody uses that scheduler. Everybody just, I'm going on, and that's it, and they're on.
Or on both sides, it's just to spite someone else. Like, this person's live, I'm going to go live and take some of that audience. Like I've seen it on both sides. Can you say that you've seen that like on both sides too? Like it's just tug of war for the audience.
And Deborah, she's right. And some people go on 3 or 4 times a day sometimes, and then it's like, how are you supposed to schedule around that? So ultimately, all of this is leading up to this part. This question, it's like
all that sip here,
all that friction now. How crazy is this going to get? How far is this going to go? I mean, how crazy are some people going to take this? Is it going to get dangerous? Is what I'm talking about. And it seems like it's already dangling or hovering on that line.
Oh yeah, we're treading on a thin wire right now. If we already have police being called on either side, if we have law enforcement in general just involved. Like, things are getting serious. It's not just a game anymore. Bringing in people's family, that's not a game anymore. Like, deceased, like, don't bring up anyone deceased. Don't bring up anyone.
And I agree with that. I'm not a fan of, don't bring the kid, your children, even if they're older. I don't care. Don't bring your children into it. Unless they're a part of the... Yeah,
like unless they've actually sat in the camera and made comments.
Yeah.
Okay, they're throwing their hat in the ring.
But little kids, like young people?
Yeah.
Absolutely not. Deceased, leave them alone. And that's why...
If they can't defend themselves, they shouldn't be thrown in the ring.
Yeah, and see, and I don't like that. I don't know, and I don't know. I'll bet nobody can pinpoint who started first, But it just goes back and forth, and I don't think anybody will be honest about where it started.
No, everyone's going to point the finger at the other one, and unless one of them stands up and be like, you know what, I fired the first shot. I wish I hadn't. Like, I wish I could take it back. People won't be happy with that answer because that means it can't continue. But that's the only way it could end. And the way it's going, it's getting worse and worse. Like every week, it seems.
Yeah.
So I feel like someone's gonna get hurt, like physically, because emotionally, I'm sure everyone's been hurt. But I feel like someone's physically gonna get hurt. Someone's gonna get put in jail. Like someone's gonna end up in handcuffs, or even worse, like someone's gonna go too far. What side is gonna go too far? I don't know. but I think that's the possibility that we're most likely going to see out of this.
Yeah, see, and that's what I worry about. Again, not that I know everybody personally, like best buddies and friends or whatever. And even though I might not be into Jaime's show or whatever, but I don't want physical harm to come to anybody. Not him, not Ophelia, not Frank even.
Yeah.
The Frank thing, when Ophelia drove over there and that whole mess in Houston.
What do you think of that?
I mean, I'm just gonna say it. I think it's just a dick move to hit a female. That's my thing, but that's just me.
Okay, but what about the act, like the actual act of her driving to show, like, to speak to his wife? Like, hitting females, not okay with that, like, at all. Like, I don't think there's,
I don't
like,
know.
you could defend yourself, but not like straight up hit a female. Like, if a female comes throwing a knife, like slashing a knife at me, yeah, I'm gonna put my hands up and try and like knock the knife out of the wrist or something.
And I said that before. You'd have to come at me with a gun or a knife for me to hit a female, and then I'll hit minimum, just to defend myself. And I've talked about this before. I'm like, it would have to be something. It would have to be something drastic for me to hit a woman, and most likely, if she hit me first, I probably deserved it.
Yeah.
So I would be like, all right, okay, I had that one coming.
I'm like, so I can't joke about that anymore.
Right? So it's like
that's the line. Okay, now I know.
And so about her driving over there.
Yeah, like,
and to talk to his wife, I don't know. That's something that he should have already talked to his wife about. I don't know what happened. I don't know the details. I don't necessarily want to know.
But Vanessa did the same thing too. So what do you think about Vanessa doing it, and then what do you think about Ophelia doing it, though?
I think there's no difference. The only difference with Vanessa, she was just going over there, just harassing by her mere presence, and she was recording. Right? That's all. That's what she was doing. And she got the reaction she wanted. She wanted Frank to come out of the fence, come out of his property, and that's what he did. And the same thing happened when Ophelia went over there. Frank could have stayed inside his fence or whatever. He just had to tell his wife, don't talk, don't talk to her, just come inside. Mm-hmm. But that didn't happen.
Yeah.
And then it escalated, and when I saw what he did, I was like, sorry, not sorry. I don't agree with that. Unless she was making some kind of aggressive action, against his wife or against him.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't see that. I know he was trying to. Wasn't somebody trying to hit their phone out of their hands, or from like, don't videotape me or something?
Yeah.
I think that's how that started.
Yeah. Or I think it was just like, pushing like the phone to show something.
Right, and then he or she. I forgot which way it
I don't know. I need to go back and look, like, because I don't want to like say the wrong thing and then it gets spun tomorrow. That like, oh, Victor's saying this because of this. Like, I'm just going off of my horrible memory right now.
Yeah, I'm not sure which way that went. Well, ultimately, it doesn't matter. I think it was a bad move to strike her, whatever she was doing, unless she was coming at you with something. But that's just me. I mean,
yeah.
Anybody would say, "Oh, I was defending myself." Say, "Okay, you can call it that," but that's not what I would do, and I don't agree with that. And that's, I don't know. Why do people have to drive so many hours to be there? Whether it's her or Vanessa, or the other way around. I've heard people are following Annette, or driving by her house, or going to the funeral, her mom's funeral, I think, or her grandma or her mom.
Yeah.
And like what's the point of that? Why?
Yeah, and I've said, like, how I don't agree with that also. Like, I think that was like just a below the belt move, but everyone's guilty of those. Like, I don't see the point of it. I've done the same.
Like, what's the point of going to Annette's mother's funeral to take a picture? Like, why? What do you? That's like, That's where you lose me real quick with all that kind of action. And that's why I'm like,
yeah, but like now because that's on the table, if something like that happens to anybody else, it's gonna be okay because someone did it first.
yeah.
And that's why it's just gonna keep on getting worse and worse, and maybe one family won't be okay with a stranger there photographing this kind of moment, and then that's when a fight's gonna break out, more assault claims. It's gonna get crazy. Like I don't want it to get that way. Like people might see it as entertainment, but at the same time, these are people.
Yeah, Gina's got a comment there that Manny agrees with everything Ophelia does. Like, no, I don't agree with it. I just said it right now. I think it's pointless. I don't understand driving to somebody's house and confront them there, or if you're not intimately related to that, then why bother with it? I don't, it's not something. If anybody would have said, "Hey, you know what I want to do? I want to do this," I would have said, "No, don't do it. What are you going to do that for?"
In the comments, it's that no one went to the funeral. They just took the video at the funeral home.
Same shit. So the same thing. Like, why bother doing that? Why? That's what I want to know. I'm like a little kid. Why? What's the point of taking a video as a funeral?
Yeah. And then everyone somehow says that I'm okay with it, but I've said it so many times that I'm not. I've made it public. I've even said that like I lost my mom at a young age, so like even joking about anyone's deceased family member, especially a mother, like hits me hard. And when I had Jaime on the show last week, I told him flat, I was like, "Yo, that's not cool. I don't like that at all. Like that's why I draw the line with you on that one." And he was like, "Okay, like I admit that it was too far, that I shouldn't have done that." And yeah, so I'm not here supporting it. People were saying that I was paying people to go take pictures of Ophelia's grave, or paying to find out where Annette was. Like, no, like I have nothing to do with that. But people like spinning a story and stuff.
That's the other thing, man. Somebody says something, somebody can put something out there, and they'll just run with it, man, and it becomes fact, even though it's a bullshit lie.
Yeah, I have an expensive hobby. I don't have money to just go and like, oh, go take a picture of this person for me. No, like that's something I add to my collection there. But I try to remain as neutral as possible, and there's things that both sides have done that I don't agree with, that I let it be known, but that's not going to make anybody happy, because people see it as like, if you're not with me, you're against me, or I don't like you, so whatever you say, I'm going to turn it around and hate you for it, kind of thing. And that's cool. If they want to be like, that's cool. Like, this doesn't bother me.
I get that, and I agree with that. I agree that people are like that, and I'm not. The way I see things, or people are saying, "Oh, well, OM does all this stuff," and they both have done stuff, and the way I kind of see it, it kind of cancels out. You got 10 negative things here and 10 negative things here. They've both done it to each other.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It doesn't make it right.
No, it doesn't.
But you know what? They're still on social media, and people watch like crazy. You can't deny that.
And more power to them if they're able to, keep it. Like, I don't hate them for it. They could do it. They're doing well, regardless of what they're doing. I mean, they're getting the views. They're getting that supporter money. That's cool for them. Like, I'm not jealous. I'm not upset because one person's getting more money or someone's supporting them. Like, everyone could do whatever they want with their money. It's obvious. Look at my background.
Yeah, I just wish, I don't know, it's one thing to argue and go back and forth from show to show. You argue, go back and forth, but then once you start driving to people's houses and stuff, now you're taking that to a whole separate level. You're taking that to the next level, where you're making the level after that more possible. And the level after that is physical violence.
Yeah, the bar just keeps getting raised another notch here, another notch there, and
just bring it all down, man. Keep the bar low. Keep the back and forth low.
Yeah, keep it fun. And just insult each other. Keep it fun. Like, that's what people want to see.
Yeah, who can insult each other best.
Yeah, but then when you start, releasing phone numbers, when you start, like, yeah, like,
I don't get that either. Doxing and telling people, oh, call where they worked, or call their his mother or his father, or here's a phone number, or this is where they live. Drive by their house and
yeah. And then with that real tongue in cheek, like, oh, well, here's this information, do what you want with it. You're still guilty of doxing.
Oh, totally. It is doxing.
Yeah.
And just because they say, here, do what you want with it, or
yeah, because everyone would want to say, like, oh, I didn't do it, like, I didn't make the phone calls. Well, the phone calls were made because of your actions.
Or like Vanessa likes to do, if she can't show the guy's profile or the girl's profile because she's in her car, she'll keep reading the name.
Yeah.
She'll keep saying, oh, so tell us how you really feel, Brandon Heffern. Brandon Heffern, yeah. And what she's trying to do is get her people to go and look up. Let me go look up Brandon Heffern.
Yeah.
But what she doesn't know is that nobody goes to do it.
Yeah.
Remember when she insisted people go to the FBI website to report John Allen?
I didn't catch that, but okay.
Oh, yeah. You can go and file a complaint there. And I posted, when you're going to file a complaint, the FBI gives you a warning that says, if you file a complaint and it's a waste of our time, according to chapter this, code this, that's a felony and you can be arrested, brought in for questioning.
Yeah.
So nobody did a friggin' thing on her behalf with the FBI. Of course not. Because they don't know anything. They're not involved. They don't want to be involved. Just because somebody starts to follow her, it doesn't mean that they truly love her.
Yeah.
But doxing and stuff.
It's crazy to get sucked into that, though. I'm talking about Vanessa here, like, when she'll have like hundreds of people watching at a time. I don't know if lately, because usually when I watch her, it's like through your channel and stuff, so I don't really see her numbers most of the time. But I remember, like, a little bit after the last election, she was pulling like 300 people. Maybe when she was talking about, the school shooting and stuff like that, that's when she was bringing in a lot of numbers. But it's kind of easy to just see those numbers, like, all these people are here for me. And then you kind of get like a high off of it, and you just want to keep on going and continue talking about the same thing over and over again, and like trying to make it go a little bit dark, like deeper. And yeah, like, that's what I meant by that.
Yeah, there is a certain level of the thing about a narcissist is that they require validation.
Yeah,
they require, you go, girl. They need that. And her people that watch her are giving her all that. I mean, I see it and I laugh at it. I'm like, you're saying, you go, girl, you're a strong woman and you're a strong. And it's like, they don't even know her.
Yeah. But then with craving it, that means they'll do anything to get that. So that's why she might go a little too far sometimes, or do the things she does, for that. And I think everyone has a little bit of narcissism, not a full-blown narcissist, but everyone wants, to be supported. Everyone wants to, like, have, someone in their corner saying, like, yeah, you do, like, you're doing good, like, keep it going, kind of thing. It's just keeping that balance to not let it get to your head and not try and just survive off of that support or like those like cheers.
And that's true to a certain extent. I mean, to a certain extent, you get online to do these kind of shows and stuff, and once you start getting popular, I mean, it is a good feeling, right? And you have a good audience, and people agree with you, and you think you're saying the right thing.
Yeah.
But in her case, her people are misguided because they don't know anything about her, and she doesn't want them to go back and look at video from the past. She doesn't want them to go to my page or your page or Ophelia's page or Frank's page. Yeah. She doesn't want that. She tells them, if you do, you're out of here. Like Scientology. If you go do that, you're done.
Yeah, and that's another thing that a narcissist does. Like, if they know the relationship's going to end, they want to be the one to cut the ties so they could say, oh, I had the power to do this. Like, so that's why it's like, oh, if you're going to do that, I'll cut ties with you. Like, don't come back. So that way she could like walk away feeling like she had total control of that situation, that she had the power. Because she knows it's going to end either way. So let it be on her terms.
Yeah, it's a the thing that gets her. I mean, she's got a certain level of self-confidence, I've always said, but I put up this video about self-confidence yesterday, a couple of days ago, and Dr. Ramani, I've actually sent an email to her and trying to get her on the show to talk about narcissism. She's a clinical psychologist. I'm trying to get her on the show like for a half hour just to pick her brain on narcissism. And what she said about narcissism was and what she wasn't talking about in that clip, not about narcissism, but she was talking about self-confidence. And a true self-confidence, you're not putting people down. And everything she listed was stuff that Vanessa does.
Yeah.
And I'm working, I got notes here. I'm working on a narcissism show.
Oh, nice. I did that too. I have a friend that was a psychologist, and she worked for the county down there. I think it was Willacy County. And I picked her brain when I did my narcissism episode, and I begged her, like, hey, like, can you come on and say this? She's like, no, like, my position with the county, like, I can't go and say it. And then she's like, at the same time, all I have are these videos. Like, it could be an act, so I can't go and put any, titles, or I can't diagnose anything. I would need to speak to her one-on-one.
Right.
And she's like, it's not fair, and it's gonna be one side. And it's like, okay, like, can I at least quote you on like some actions? And she's like, yeah. So I did that. But if you get that, like, you need to let me know, because I don't always get your notifications. But I would want to watch.
Oh, yeah, no. If I get Dr. Ramani on, man, that'll be a big deal, and I'll definitely make all kind of noise about that one.
Yeah, no,
she's the one. She does a lot of videos on YouTube about narcissism, about sociopaths and psychopaths and stuff. And
I might have watched it then, because I've watched a lot of that recently. I have the EDM book probably on my shelf there that was given to me by a friend, and it's interesting. Like, it's something I wish I would have gone to school for, to like know more about.
Right now, looking back, if I could have started, if I can go back to like middle high school,
yeah,
I'd probably be okay with that. That I could start over and go, yeah. You know what? There's not enough of that in high school.
No, there isn't.
All they say, oh, you could become a police officer, you become a lawyer or a fireman or whatever. But you don't have people really to hang out with you and get a guy who's an attorney, spend a whole week, do mock trials, and spend some time there, or spend some time with I don't know, accounting is not an exciting job, but you might have people
it might
like
be for
numbers.
somebody, like someone who's a big math person, or like just someone who wants to open a business. Okay, go with a local person who has his own business, spend the day with them. Like, learn to see if it's something you actually want. I changed my major 7 times before I finally settled. I did like maybe 8 or 9 semesters where I went for nursing, I went for teaching, I went for engineering, accounting, like, because I didn't know, like, because they say, oh, you could be whatever you want to be. So I was like, oh, well, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to do that. Like, it's hard.
Yeah, things should be done differently in high school. I mean, if I was able to make I don't know.
Oh yeah, I'd be completely.
It was always career day, right? Career day was a day.
Yeah.
Well, it shouldn't be career day. It should be like twice a week, once a week. It should be career day every single day, and get kids interested. I would have loved to have been a lawyer. I should have gone to law school. But back then, I was just thinking about I was DJing and thinking about girls or whatever, and you're not thinking about that kind of thing. You're not thinking about 40 years later.
Yeah.
Or 30 years later. You're just thinking about what you're doing right now. And I think there needs to be an effort to get kids to think way ahead. As difficult as that might be, I think you got to get kids to think way ahead.
Definitely, because when I was in high school, I was like, okay, what would be cool to do in my 20s? Like, what's going to get me, attention from girls and stuff like that. Like, oh, okay, a lot of females like nursing. I'm going to go into nursing for a while. So that's like why I did that. And then, but yeah, I wasn't thinking, when I'm 30, what am I going to want to be doing? When I'm 40, like, I still want to be nursing there? Like, I'm not putting it down. Like, there's, nursing is important and everything, but it just wasn't for me.
Yeah. Yeah, so I don't know. I know we probably opened up a can of worms here, and I'm not trying to pit any side or any one person against another. And I'm still not going to pick sides, and I don't agree with things that people do.
The same.
But they're going at it equally at each other. So my only hope would be that at some point they would just cut it out and just do something else. Leave family, leave your kids out of it, leave the dead out of it.
Yeah, everyone's guilty, like, to some extent.
Yeah, so I don't know. This is definitely something that's going to continue, and it's not going to finish anytime soon. And that is my yes, Jenna. That's my hope, is that this, before it gets ugly, and I know some would say it's already ugly, but
it's been ugly for a while, like for a better part of the past year.
I mean, before it gets legally out of hand.
I mean, like, it might be legally out of hand. There's no wheels turning. I mean, there are lawsuits and threats of lawsuits being thrown on all sides and stuff.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
I had a lawsuit threat. Like, I'm okay with it. Like, I got family members that are lawyers. Like, I'm okay. Like, I don't feel I'm in the wrong in any way. But if someone does, okay, we could take it to court and we could plead the case, and whatever happens, happens. Yeah. I'm not gonna kick and scream about it. Like, I believe in the judicial system and everything, so I'm cool with that.
Yeah, Isabel, can you imagine if everyone threw in the towel? If everybody said, "Okay, that's it. April 1st, we all quit."
I think there would be a huge sigh of relief across everywhere, because I know, even though they're supporters, they're tired of it too. Like, they all have their own supporters that I'm sure go this again. Like, I thought we were going to talk about this, or I thought we were going to do this, or all the stuff's happening in the news.
Can you imagine if everybody said, "All right, you know what? Yeah, you know what? I'm done," and everybody walked away from that kind of.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, it's like, all right, what are we going to talk about? And it's just quiet. Nobody's watching nobody, and
everything just fades.
I think people would miss it. People would want to keep watching. People would. It's just human nature, man, to want to watch an argument.
Yeah, it's like there's an accident on the side of the road. You can't help but look.
It's human nature to want to be on a side, to want to pick a side. And I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, with the essence of it. But like I try to tell Vanessa's people, like, you know what? Learn the history first. There's years and years to watch there before you go supporting whoever you want. And in the case with some of these, with three of them, I mean, Frank, Ophelia, and Jaime, there's a lot of back and forth there, man. It's hard to pinpoint the one spot where it started.
Yeah.
I don't think that could ever be found. If somebody knows where it started, where the, what do you call it, ground zero is?
Yeah.
For each of their fights. I mean, the Ophelia Frank thing had to do with money, I think.
I think deep down it's all money.
Well, if I heard right, it was Frank was monetizing, and he was getting a lot of viewers because of her. He was not sharing the money or giving her enough or sharing at all. And that's when she broke off, and then they just started going at it.
Yeah.
And then one thing turned into another.
I mean, but at the same way, that's like me getting upset because, you're making money on this, or you get donations, and me getting upset because you're not giving me anything. Hey, it's your channel. You brought me on as a guest. Like, that's cool. You do your thing, you handle it the way you want to handle it. If it was a flat out, Frank and Ophelia presents this show, okay, that's when, maybe a partnership, or at least before anything started, an agreement, even if it's just verbal. But I mean, like, I'm not going to ask you, like, hey, can you send me, like, at least 25% of whatever you made on this video? Like, it's your thing. Like, I'm just happy that you reached out to me and said, "Hey, like, do you want to do a live?" I'm like, hell yeah, man! I've been wanting to do a live with you for a while already.
And that's the thing. Everybody's got motives.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't care if somebody wants to come on. If they have a show, I'll promote it for you. That's why I'm talking to you.
Yeah.
And I don't have a problem with that. I'm not one to like, wait, well, nobody go follow him. It's like, no, you know, Victor, you can find him at Digital Dimwit. So the page is still the same, right?
And page is still the same. I just did like a rebranding and trying to change and move to different things.
Somebody said, Manny learned the history. It started because OM backstabbed Frank. Frank's numbers were up because that is when VT was arrested. Numbers had nothing to do with OM. See, and that's another version.
I mean, that's when it grew, because that's when I found out about Frank was back in 2020 with the videos leading up to the arrest, because I know like it was maybe like 2 months of, you know what, it's when her and George Rice went at it. That's when I found out about Frank, because he was live streaming that. So yeah, I don't know how Frank's platform was before that, because I didn't go back.
I see Rebecca's comment. See, and that's what I was thinking. I think she claimed she got all his followers due to her. So if he already had a following, I don't know. You know, when it comes to money, it should be laid out up front.
Yeah.
Hey, we'll do it for a month. You know, I'm not going to give you anything, but you know, we'll just see how it goes, and then after that, we'll figure it out. Hey, I'll give you 10%. You know, like whatever. I'll give you 10%.
Yeah, it should be like whoever, like the creator of the channel, like you're being the creator of this channel, like you would decide if you had like a recurring guest every, you know, week. Okay, like let's divide this. Like you're providing just as much content as I am. Okay, but that's up to you because it's your platform, it's your channel, it's your name on the show. Like that's how it should be. It shouldn't be a guarantee like, oh, if I'm going to be on the show once a week, I need to be getting this. That's not how it goes.
Yeah, I think that's one of the first reasons I heard about Vanessa's, because somebody else said it too. She was fighting with Bonnie. I think they were fighting back then.
Oh yeah, I made my first video was covering Bonnie, and I reached out to Vanessa because I wanted to interview her because I was on her side during that whole argument. But she said that she was busy, that she would have liked to, but she couldn't. And I was like, you know what? That's cool. And then that's when I found out she was running for something at that time. So I was like, in my head, I didn't know her. So I was like, oh, okay, I'm sure she's super busy. So I did that video on Bonnie. And then that's when she kind of got on my radar, because then I started seeing other people post things about Vanessa. And then people sharing Frank's stream. And that's how I found his channel. And that's how it grew. Yeah,
I remember I think I started watching Frank before anybody, because he was over here fighting with Erasmo Castro and Brownsville Cheeseman, I think.
I think I came in right at the end of that. I didn't really catch that.
Way back then. And then that's when I was like, I didn't know it then, but it was more years later. I was like, well, if you can do it, you know, I want to try it. And then Real Politics started.
Yeah.
And and I had no idea I would end up where I am right now.
Yeah, and that's why I started doing my Vanessa videos. Like I reached out to her. I was like, hey, I want to cover Vanessa. Like I know you don't like have a claim on it, but you're the one who's known for it. I was like, you do it your way. I want to do it my way. Like I don't really want to do it the way you do it. So that's why I kind of branched out and started doing my thing. And you know, he didn't, like I said, he didn't claim it, but just as a level of respect, like, hey, I'm going to be coming out with this content that might be similar to yours. I don't want it to start any like issues or anything.
Yeah.
I just wanted to always have that kind of like respect between all the creators.
See, here we got another version.
Let's see.
It has nothing to do with money. It was due to Frank's supporters. Some supported for the reunion and didn't contribute to anything. And I thought Frank made mine for the reunion, but it was like a meet and greet for the followers. Let's see. No one cares about money, and she backstabbed Frank or something like that. So she's saying it had to do about a reunion show or something.
That's when it all came, like that there's a reunion, and I from what I remember, I could be wrong. Someone please correct me so I'm not spreading false information here. I think she wanted a piece of that because she believed Frank was getting money off of it, that he was going to skim the top, or like whatever was left after the donations he was going to keep for himself. And I think she wanted some of that because that she was a guest there since she's like part of the show too. That's what I remember. I could be remembering it wrong, but I think Frank said that he didn't even make any money off of that. That he had to put in some at the end because he didn't get enough donations. That's what he's saying. That's what she's saying. Who's to say who's right?
Yeah. And that's what I think. I think everybody's going to have their own take on what happened.
Like they're going to see it through their eyes and not anyone else's.
Right. And I don't know. And I of course, Ophelia is going to put her spin on what she thinks happened or why it happened. Mm-hmm. Frank's going to do the same. He's going to say, no, this is what happened. And they're both going to point a finger.
Yeah, but like, I don't know. I think a little bit of modesty and like humbleness should be always in the forefront of your mind with these things. Back in McAllen, when they had like their comic book conventions and stuff, I hosted panels on that, and I didn't go expecting to get money or anything. I was just happy to be a part of it, where people were there to see me, where people were like wanting to listen to what I had to say. Like I was just happy with that. Like, yeah. Even though it's a convention where, you know, that the owner, Ramsey, he was probably walking away with a good chunk of money at the end. I didn't expect anything. I didn't even expect like a t-shirt or a lanyard. I was just happy that I was thought of, I was invited, and I got to go do that. Like when you're just thinking, oh, I want the money, like I deserve this. I'm like, that's when you kind of start doing whatever for the money, kind of like Vanessa, like doing anything for the views. And you kind of lose yourself in that.
Yeah.
I think I only started putting my Cash App like the past 2 or 3 weeks, and I've been doing these videos for like 3 years. But I mean, I just moved to Austin. It's a little expensive. I want to keep on doing this, but like I'm trying to build my setup again, like the way I used to have it. And
yeah,
at the same time, I want to get better stuff so I could perform a better show. So in the end, it's more for the audience. Like I'm not walking away with anything. Like if I buy something, I got a new camera with the money that was donated to me last week. Like I want to keep upping it. Like I know, like you said, like you need like that your internet's like expensive. Well, like, yeah, the internet over here is like insanely expensive and I can't stand it.
Yeah. And I'll be honest, if we're going to talk about money and Cash App and, you know, mm-hmm. I think some people go overboard and flashing the Cash App and requesting, I don't know, almost overboard with it.
Yeah.
I said this just 2 hours ago on the show I did earlier, you know, and people that watch me, I've said this already. Mm-hmm. I don't flash my Cash App thing out there all the time, and most of the time because I forget. But the other part of it is that, you know, I find it, what's the word? It's like embarrassing to put it up there, and then at the same time, I feel like everybody's Cashed App all the people that they watch already, mm-hmm. because they're always in your face. Cash App, here's my Cash App.
Yeah.
That I don't want to be that guy. Say, oh no, you know. Now at the end of the day, it's yeah, we already Cashed App everybody we were going to.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be like I'm necessarily asking or whatever. It's a weird thing.
Yeah,
it's a pride thing. I think.
Yeah, I really had to have like a talk with myself. Like, I've always stood real firm that like I'm not gonna put my Cash App out there, and now that I am, like I feel like a fraud because I said I would never do that. But you know, just temporarily, like a little bit of help goes a long way. But even if I don't see it on the show, like I'll have like a little, you know, banner on the bottom that I'll flash like randomly throughout the episode. And, you know, it's all obligation, but I know some people might be fatigued from, you know, the Cash App for this, Cash App for that. I know some reasons are legitimate, like some people who do need, you know, medicine or car issues and stuff like that. Like, okay, fine, that's cool. But I don't think the Cash App should be part of the show at all. Yeah, that's just my opinion. Like that's the way.
I mean, you know, you get on social media, then you at some point you want to monetize, and okay, mm-hmm. Some people get monetized, and you know, I don't know. Cash App is a way to get around the tax man,
Yeah.
and to get instant cash quick, especially if you want to. Um, I don't know. I mean, for some people who are really, really bad shape, I'm not going to say who it is, but some people who are in bad shape need to eat a couple times a day, and sometimes that's their only income. So I can see where they need the Cash App out there. Please, Cash App, begging for it, practically begging for it.
Yeah.
And I think even if I was in that bad of a shape, I don't think I could. I don't know if I still could. It's
I don't know about you, but I do feel a little dirty because like I'm expecting like okay, $1 here, $1 there, like to walk away with like maybe $5 after 2 hours of streaming. One person cash apped me like $20, and I even reached out because I know this person on Messenger because I've messaged them a few times, and I was like, I feel really bad. Like, can I refund it to you and you send me like $5 if you want? Like, I'm not gonna be greedy or anything because I don't want to get comfortable with it. I don't want to get to the point where I'm expecting like, hey, you sent me $20 last time. Like, what's with this $1 now? Like, do you not like me anymore? And I don't want it to go down that road.
yeah.
And I don't think I would go there, but there's always the chance that I don't want to become dependent on this. Like, these platforms should be free. That's why they're on YouTube and not like on a cable channel or anything like that. Like,
Yeah, well,
free,
YouTube,
but there's nothing wrong with anyone supporting them and wanting to financially support them. That's cool. Like, it's your money, do what you want. But
and YouTube has got a subscriber deal, which is
Yeah,
the like
I've seen
official
that.
version of what Ophelia does.
Yeah.
And at some point, I would like to do that, but it's got to be when I'm giving people content, something
Yeah.
new and fresh, or something worth somebody saying, "Hey, you know what? I'll pay $5 a month for that," or whatever.
Yeah, and I'm not ignoring Candy here in the comment. Yes, I'm in Austin, so there's a lot of weird and cool places that I want to go explore, and I want to go live. There's this place that was on Shark Tank that's just down the street from me. It's where they do like a milkshake, like a giant milkshake, and they put like donuts and cookies, and like it's just this huge like display. So like I want to do stuff like that. There's a lot of like lakes and streams. I've been getting into photography lately. Like I figured like, oh, let me do a live stream where I take you with me as I go take these photos and stuff. Like I want to do fun stuff like that. So Candy, I wasn't ignoring you. I know you asked a while back. I just wanted to get to that before it gets buried.
Oh, gotcha. That's cool. So, and somebody said, this is not a asking if it was Ophelia bashing session. Like it's not, and
Yeah.
Frank is not innocent in all this. He's done his own share of things, or through his people, perhaps.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying criminal things necessarily. I'm just saying they're all in this, equally in this together.
Yeah, and then Trisha here saying that like don't see a problem with sending. Yeah, there's no problem with it if you really support someone and want to like show them your support. That's cool. Like you going out of your way and doing it.
Yeah,
But
a lot of times I don't post it, and then I'll get a message that says, "Hey, post your Cash App, please." I forgot what it is.
Yeah, or like when I don't post it, it will be like the super chats like coming in, like $1, $2 super chats here and there, and that's cool. Like that's them doing it on their own. I don't want to go like as if you owe me money already. Like, hey, like my Cash App's here. Like I haven't seen you send anything in a while. Like
Yeah, no, there's no way I'm not doing that. Or I don't want to make it sound like, hey, you better Cash App me, because otherwise I'm not going to do a show this week.
Yeah, right. I'm gonna go find you. I'm gonna break your thumbs if you don't Cash App me. Like I
Yeah.
wanted to get to that point.
I'm going to break your kneecaps if you give me that $5.
Yeah, I'll be all like, do you still live on First Street? I think I remember you living on First Street. We're gonna go talk about this in person.
Right. So, yeah, the money sometimes changes people, changes the show. I think
Yeah.
ultimately, if somebody is going to make a living from it, I mean, you really got to ramp up and do more than just gossip. I don't know.
Yeah, and I'm okay with someone wanting to make a living out of this. Like that would be cool. Like that's a dream scenario for me that I don't have to work anymore and I can just do this. So I'm not putting anyone down saying like, oh, you shouldn't try and do this, or you should just stop and get rid of your channel and stuff. Like, no, like if Ophelia grows to where she could, buy a new house and stuff like that, okay, she did that. Like, she had the support for that. Cool, good for her. Same thing with Jaime. He just bought a car recently, and I don't know how much of the supporters like helped out with that, or he had been saving up for a long time. But good for him. Like, I wish I had a new car. I'm not going to hate him for it.
Yeah. My thing is, if I can get those expenses paid, internet to streaming stuff related to the show,
yeah,
and the little supplies that I need to get, equipment or whatever. If the show can pay for that from the monetizing, from the Google ads or all this stuff that's on Google on YouTube, then that'll make me happy, because that wouldn't take money from any paycheck or whatever your income stream is.
Exactly. Like, I would love to buy a new mic, and then I have a new camera. I bought a tripod because I want to try and like have this as my background, and I want to try and grow and do different things. So that's why I'm asking, $1 here, $1 there. But at the same time, I'm not like begging for it. I'm not saying, I'm like, hey, if you like it, cool. If you have it on you, if you can afford it, I'd rather you make sure you have your bills, your stuff taken care of, your family fed, and you have a few cents afterwards. I'll take a couple of pennies. Like, yeah, that's my way of thinking about this. Like, because people are still struggling. Like, the Valley, I know a lot of people have supporters outside of the Valley, but in general, the Valley is not the most luxurious place. It's not a place where a lot of people have money to be throwing out, like, left and right. So that's why I think everyone should, be cool. Like, as long as they're comfortable with their finances, they can do whatever they want with the spare stuff. Like I said, that's why I have my background the way it is.
Yeah, a lot of people retire down here, so not everybody's broke. I think.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's like a poor third world nation or anything. I'm just saying, like, it's
not as poor as Vanessa likes to make it sound.
Oh, like yeah, definitely not.
That's for sure. It's not that. So anyway, all right.
I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I don't know, and I see this like this show tonight. I see this opening the door for me having other people on here to discuss this as well.
Definitely.
And I think if they're willing to talk about it, I think I'm gonna start putting the requests out there.
Yeah, like tomorrow I'm interviewing Cecilia Chavez, the 210 Chismosa, and I want her side. Like, I don't want like her to summarize everything. I just want to know what she saw, like what was done to her, what she's experienced. Like, that's what I want. Like,
I don't even know who that is.
She has a radio. She has a podcast, and it's live streamed. Also, she has a live stream show, and she got into the Vanessa drama. So, one claim is she invited Ophelia. The other is Ophelia showed up to be a guest, and now they've been going back and forth for a long time. Stuff. So I invited her, and I want to talk to her and get her side.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Vicky, I get it about monetizing, and it should have limits. And who's CMC? She's an example. CMC had nothing to offer viewers, just begging. Who's CMC?
I have no idea who CMC is. Is it someone new? Is there a new player on the field? What is going on?
I don't know who CMC is. If you can fill me in, but anyway, but that's how I feel. I don't want to get into a subscription thing unless I've got something worthy to offer for you guys to go, yeah, I would pay to watch Manny do that, or I'll help out with that.
Yeah, or like, if you have the subscription, I'll send you a t-shirt or something. Like, make it, both ways, like a two-way street, not just, CMC is a nasty scammer. Oh, I want to know. CMC. Everyone's saying CMC is a scammer.
CMC.
Well, it's going to be a new topic to talk about. I want to talk about a scammer.
CMC Life?
CMC, a football player? Oh my gosh. Can someone tell me what CMC stands for?
Too many CMC things on here. I don't know what the hell they are.
Crystal Collins? Is that it? No, that's someone who got scammed by it.
Let's see. CMC Rocks fan page. CMC in her own word. Oh, is this the one?
So it's someone from Jackson, Kentucky, who's known as a Facebook scammer. Oh, I'm gonna go down a rabbit hole. I'm gonna go
down a private group. Oh man, it's a private group.
Yeah, it's Crystal Marie Collins.
Oh, now that I see the face, I recognize that. I don't know. I think the one I thought maybe I would stream was that her name is Heather something. Have you seen that one? She's blonde, very short hair.
No.
She does a lot of lives. The resemblances to Vanessa is scary. Now, and I'm wondering if she's a Vanessa sympathizer, supporter, perhaps, because she does a lot of what Vanessa does. She'll be in her house with the same background music, the creepy massage music or whatever you want to call it.
I don't know, because there's times where like no one's talking and that music hits pretty good. It's just when she starts talking is when I don't like it.
It's putting you in a trance. That's why.
Yeah, like because I'll be having my headphones on while I'm at work and I'm just like kind of falling asleep because like it would be like so, like you said, zen.
That Manny and Digital Dimwit, how do you feel about John Allen and new accusations being made towards him? I don't know if they're new accusations. She's always alleged the same thing, that he was a mastermind behind all this, all behind her beating anyway.
Yeah, I mean that's always been there, like since the beginning. I think he was the first one to be accused, and then.
Oh, not since the beginning. Remember, first she said it was because of a jealous girlfriend, Cody's new girlfriend.
Oh yeah, but then she backpedaled when she saw this could get her like on Nancy Grace and like all that. That's when it really started going.
Yep.
But I think the whole like when she posted where she was and asked for people to show up, and he showed up, and she said it's stalking. Like
she turned it into stalking.
Yeah, she turned it into stalking. I've talked to John Allen like a bunch of times. He has my number. I had like a long conversation with him a month or two ago. I don't have anything bad to say about him. I know screenshots are gonna start coming out like soon from what I'm hearing, but
if you guys haven't seen it,
I'll see what happens.
Who was asking Dede? I had John Allen earlier tonight, and I played this little video that Vanessa created on TikTok. Did you hear that video, by the way?
Which one?
That 1 minute TikTok that Vanessa did?
Mm-mm.
It was recorded somewhere with a microphone because she was doing a narration over it.
Okay.
And she had a microphone. It was her voice was very, very well. You should listen to that. That's on her page.
Yeah, I'm gonna go look.
I think it's September 8th, I think it is.
It's on her page or her TikTok?
It's on her Facebook page.
Oh, I think I'm blocked, man.
I can put it on here if you want.
I'm blocked, and there was a time where I did have like a fake account that would go like just so I could watch and get like my content, but then I admitted that I had that. I felt bad about it, so I deleted that account.
Let's see. I'm looking for it. There it is. I know she's messing with her page because her profile, the big cover picture, is gone. Right. Let's see. And here it is. I can pop it up here real quick if you guys want to watch this again. In case you missed it, this is what I talked about earlier. It's only a minute. Give me a second. Let me pop this up here. Here, let's watch this real quick.
Holy crap. Is that real? It's not fake?
Whenever they want you to hate me, as much as they hate me, they never tell you everything I had to survive. They never tell you they didn't just try destroying my life. They didn't tell you all the times they tried to destroy my face and everything that I loved, everything that I still love. They don't tell you how many times I cried out for help and I was ignored. They don't tell you everything I went through to be the person I am today. I tell my story because I want people to know that we survive. As long as we try, we survive. We just have to try.
Yep.
Like if I didn't know Vanessa, I would throw so much support at that, and I think that's what she banks off of.
Of course, she's got to play the victim.
So
the problem was in this here, on the right side, all this commentary here, her description. She names John Allen, or she calls him J.A. She won't put his name there.
Yeah.
White man as the one who organized all this stuff. And that's what I had John earlier. I had him on and we talked about this. So if you didn't get to see that, go back and replay.
Yeah, I was watching when he was talking about the whole Walmart incident.
Yeah.
But I saw a comment here. I was trying to watch the comments about some audio that was leaked today. I have no idea what that's about.
Oh, yeah. Somebody said that about how do you feel about Frank, what he had? He had leaked some audio. I don't know what that was.
Yeah, I don't know either. I mean, I'll listen and I'll give my opinion on it. I'm more than happy to do that.
Where is it? Where is it? Oh, it was way, way before that. Damn it.
I didn't even know he was live today. I'm seeing that he was. Oh, no, I've spent the last 2 days trying to build a table, so that's why I've been kind of out of the loop.
Let's see. Well, I can't find it. If somebody wants to refresh my memory on what that Frank Marr video was, or recording that he played, you're saying? I think I'm getting warmer. Let's see here. I just saw a comment there. I feel bad for Frank's wife. Yeah, I don't know. If you want to re-ask that question again about Frank's recording or whatever you're talking about.
Yeah, or like at least what it's about, so I have an idea.
But I do feel bad for Frank's wife because she seems to be the one catching a lot of unnecessary heat or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, I mean,
insults perhaps or whatever. And I don't know. I wouldn't put any of my family, whoever it was, I wouldn't put.
Yeah, because I think everyone has like a really thick skin, so like words aren't really getting because everyone's been doing this for such a long time. So the next move is, okay, go after their loved ones. Like, I can't hurt you with my words. I'm going to talk about your loved ones and go after them.
Oh, really?
That's what it seemed like.
No, I got a inbox angel who says, no. That Carla had a lot to do with it.
Oh.
Well. See, that's how little I know about some of this stuff. So.
Yeah, Isabel, my wife was thrown into it. She doesn't watch it when I talk about the drama. She doesn't watch my videos because she's like really against all that, like on all sides. So like that was crazy that she was thrown in there. AR was recorded accusing John Allen and Chrissy P of running emergency lies. It's getting wild. Yeah, like I've spoken to that page. I don't know who runs it, but like I've asked my questions here and there. There's communication, but I'm respecting the anonymity of them, and I haven't gone and asked like who's running you.
Yeah, some people know who runs it.
I'm sure.
Um, Vanessa wants to think that John does. Okay, let her think that. That's what I say.
Oh, I thought it was Jojo Malone that she thought it was.
She thinks it's First she said Jojo Malone, and now she's saying it's John.
Yeah.
I know who it is, and it's not a single person. It's a group of people, and but yeah, and I'm not going to ever compromise that at all. No More Cheeseke's Lies it's a good outfit over there.
Yeah, and like I know you, and like when we've spoken about it privately, like I don't go out there and be like, oh, you got to tell me, or like you better tell me who it is or anything. Like,
No, I know you.
It's their secret to tell, like not mine. And it's good that they're like so secretive with it because that's how information gets leaked. That's when secrets are found out, and that's when things get messy.
That's right, and that's how they keep their names out of trouble. In the line of fire of some people.
Yeah.
But yeah, some of those names that were just said in that comment, some of those initials that were in that comment.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, fully aware of who they are and what they do and what their family does and what business their family is in and the connections to Brownsville. So,
crap!
Yeah,
it's like a huge conspiracy.
Oh yeah, that's stuff that they wouldn't want to get out. And but you know what? But I'm not going there because I don't do that. And I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah. The same thing with like Truth and Justice. Like I know that's the whole anonymous page also that I don't know. Some people say it's one woman, some say it's a team, some say it's one man. Like as long as they're having fun and doing their thing, like I guess.
Yeah, somebody mentioned the guy who's been around recently, Cheeseman Report. Have you seen him?
Is that the guy from Arizona?
From Arizona? I thought it was California.
I think it's Arizona. I was actually getting ready to reach out to him about a video he did.
I was watching some of that, but I mean, he's talking about people I had never even heard of before. And
are you talking about the makeup artist and the Divine?
Yes, all that.
Oh
stuff.
My gosh, man, do I have stuff to say? But
see, I don't know any of that. I really got no interest in it. I was trying to follow this chick named what's another one, Vanessa-ish. I can't remember. I can't even remember. But every time I would catch her live, she was always with her kids, and her kids were always on camera in the video. At home doing stuff, right? And I'm like, I don't want to be showing little kids and stuff. I mean, I don't know what she's all about.
Yeah.
So I'm like, nah, I'm not gonna do that. She's got tattoos all over the place.
Oh, I have no idea. Oh, yes, I do have info on the makeup drama because I'm not going to say which one, but I used to run the social media and website for one of the was involved. And
Gigi, that's it. That's right. Gigi is her name.
Yes. And I do not trust that person. I just wanted to get that off my chest.
There's way too much going on over there with that Cheeseman Report and the people he follows. I'm like, names I never heard of and drama I never like. Oh no,
yeah.
I'll eventually.
I need to look up that Gigi May because I'm curious.
The one who wanted in and was trying to get me on her show one time.
Mm-hmm.
Was somebody is it's called somebody whatever her name is spoiled or something like that. Jessica is spoiled, maybe.
That sounds familiar. I feel like I've read that somewhere.
Jessica is spoiled or Jennifer is spoiled or something like that. Maybe somebody knows what we're talking about. And she was like, hey, do you want to come on the show? I want to pick your brain on this Dre McCrae and like, oh, okay. And I said okay. I just said okay. Then later after we hung up, I looked and she's got like 1 million freaking followers and stuff. And I was like, oh yeah, I'll be there. But then she never responded. That's another flake.
Yeah.
And the internet is full of strangeness, man.
I mean, it's entertaining, but it's good to step back when you see it's taking over like a majority of your life.
Yeah.
Like I don't think this drama should influence anyone's like life. If it's gonna be entertainment, it should just be entertainment. But yeah, I found Jessica spoiled. I think I was following this because I think she was exposed recently about something.
Yeah, and I was like, man, why did she have 1 million followers? And so I started to watch one of the programs, or a couple of them. And aside from her ginormous implants, I found no value in that page. So I was like, whatever. I'm not gonna. She never got back to me, and I decided not to pursue that.
Yeah, and I've been trying to reach out to like some of that other makeup drama because like these people from the Valley, and they have like hundreds of thousands of subscribers. One of them even had $1 million deal last year come through. Like those are influencers. Those are people with like platforms. Like I have like 0.5 of what they have. Like that's power. That's someone who could, you know, go out and like have a following. Like with the audience I have, like we're cool. We just sit back, we talk movies, we talk like these, occasionally talk drama and stuff like that.
I'm trying to get Bam to do Bam used to be a cross-dresser, or a showgirl, right? And he did his own makeup and stuff. And I said, dude, you should do your own makeup. Yeah, do a makeup show.
My gosh.
He's actually considering it. You know, have you heard what he's considering doing?
What?
He already said he will. He's going to get a tattoo of Vanessa's face.
Oh my God. See, that's something I would donate money to
on his ass.
I would.
So that he can say that he sits on her face every day.
That's crazy. A little much, but the idea like behind it is pretty funny.
And he's all in for it. He's like, I'm in.
Oh yeah,
I'm like, well, let's try to figure out which. So he's like saving. He's doing screenshots every time we stop at a scene, and he'll take a screenshot, and he's gonna try to pick just the right photo. And then we're gonna pick 3 or 4, and then we're gonna do a poll and see which one everybody wants. And then everybody can pitch in if you want this done. It's,
man, Bam.
That's his ass. And I'm like, dude, you don't have to do it. He goes, oh no, I want to. It's on my ass. I don't care. Like, all right.
Wow.
So yeah, we'll see. We'll see when that happens. I'm gonna say just after the new year, we'll start working on that.
If he does do that and he goes through with it, you need to make sure he live streams it.
Oh yes, we already talked about that. It will be live streamed. Yes.
Okay.
I just told him you're gonna have to cover up part of your butt because you can't show crack. First of all.
Okay, we're gonna have to take this to another platform that allows
something,
that
right?
allows for it if everyone wants to see it.
Yeah, live will be good. If it can't be live, definitely record the whole thing. I don't know. I might have to fly to Chicago for that one and record it myself or something.
Yeah,
I don't know.
That's a good reason to fly out to Chicago, man. I'm trying to go out there too.
So we'll see how that goes. All right, man. I think I'm going to call it a night. But thanks for coming up on short notice. Appreciate it.
Yeah, man. Anytime. I'll be happy to come again. I had a lot of fun. Always do. Always have fun.
Everyone, thanks for hanging out. Really appreciate you guys. I know it's super late, but who cares?
Yeah. I don't go to bed till 9 a.m., so I still have things to do.
If you haven't subscribed, give me a subscribe if you don't mind at YouTube. Manny Behind the Mic on YouTube. And if you want to do some Cash App, there it is. I know we talked about it earlier. It's Manny Behind the Mic with a $sign in front of it. And the same thing on PayPal. And
that's a good one.
What's for breakfast tomorrow? See, I'm already thinking what to eat tomorrow. Had a nasty breakfast today. McDonald's. I haven't had McDonald's breakfast in 2 years.
That's desperate right there. Some McDonald's breakfast.
Yeah, it was bad. It was horrible. It's everything disappointing.
Like their hash browns, yeah. I'll give them good hash browns, but everything else is just.
Yeah, the biscuit was hard as a rock.
Yeah,
it was sad. It was sad.
Like, how could it be hard and moist at the same time? Like, that doesn't sound right.
Yeah, the outside was hard as a rock, that's for sure. So, all right. Victor, thank you.
We'll never get off.
Yeah, everyone have a great night. We'll see you tomorrow, or I guess you could say later today.
Yeah.
Don't forget, it's Taco Tuesday. Go support your local taco place or make them at home. Have a good night, everybody. See you, Vic.
See ya.